What's going on? Welcome to Tech with Sean, and today I'm rebuilding my wife's PC right over here. There. Alright, so this is her system, and it's pretty nice still. It does have a really nice video card. This is an EVGA RTX 2080 Ti, but the heart of this system, the processor, is holding us back. And she wants to play some newer games like Cyberpunk, and this has been fine for stuff like Skyrim Special Edition, even Red Dead Redemption 2, but the processor is a i7 7700K, so it's only 4 cores and 8 threads, and it's causing some problems trying to play Cyberpunk and some other newer stuff, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade that, and there's actually been some really good processor deals going on lately. So I had decided to pick her up. We've got the i7 10700. So we're going from 4 cores, 8 threads to 8 cores, 16 threads. And this is the non-overclockable version. It was just a really good deal. And it still boosts up plenty high for gaming. And because it's non-overclockable, we're going to save some money. And we got a B460 board from MSI. And, this doesn't have any super crazy features or anything, but it's going to get the job done. It has built-in Wi-Fi, so that's not too bad for a kind of a budget board. We got some RAM. We needed RAM for it, and I actually bought a new kit for my system. I bought myself some 3600 Corsair, and so this is 3200, and I took this out of my system, so I wouldn't necessarily buy 3200 megahertz RAM to put on a B460 board, but I already own this, so I'm just going to use it. Then for the SSD, we've got a 1 terabyte Crucial, and it's nothing super fancy, but again, good bang for the buck drive. It came in right around $100. And then we've got Hyper 212 RGB Black. It's actually the same fan that's in the system now, but I just picked up a different one. And for the case, we've got the Corsair 220T RGB. Now this is an airflow kind of case, and it comes with some pre-installed RGB fans. So yeah, I think she's going to be pretty happy with this. She kind of is a fan of the RGB rainbow look, so we're going to get this put together and see what it can do. I was kind of getting this put together a little bit outside of the box. I got the SSD on there, but I ran into a little bit of a snafu, and that the RAM is tall. And because of the height of the RAM, the fan wouldn't fit on this side, so we have to put the fan here so it's going to be sucking the air through. And I think that's fine because This is not an unlocked processor, and it comes with a stock cooler, and this is way beefier than the stock Intel cooler. Alright, I'm making some progress here. We've got the board installed in the case, we got the power supply down in the shroud. I'm getting ready to put in the graphics card, get that installed, get it all hooked up, do some cable management, and we'll be almost ready to install Windows. Okay, here we are. I think I have it all put together. We got the card in there, the new board, the memory. All that's left to do is to hook the power up and see if it'll boot. So let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, it's alive. Are we gonna get a signal? All right. That's what we wanted to see. That's what we want to see. Alright, now I just gotta go ahead and get this thing all set up. We're gonna get Windows installed. And yeah, we'll see how this sucker performs. I think this i7 is gonna do a lot better than the old i7. And I think she's gonna be pretty happy with this system for gaming. Alright y'all, we are back. It's the next day. We got it all set up. We got Windows going. We got IQ installed for the rainbow puke effects. It actually looks pretty good, I think. We got the wave going on. We got the card lit up. The fans that come in this case have some pretty cool effects. These are the SP120 RGB Pro fans, and they have better effects than my regular SP120 fans in my build. I did kind of think that this case would come with one in the back though, and there was no exhaust fan. It just had the 3 intake fans, so I may try to find a single SP120 Pro RGB down the road perhaps, and switch that out, but for now, I just got a black Corsair fan in there. But yeah, pretty happy with how this came together. Now let's throw the side panel on here to get the temperatures, get a real accurate look at those, and let's see what it can do in some games. I noticed I wasn't getting the CPU performance that I should be, so I came in here. You gotta go to overclocking settings and then scroll down somewhere. Where was this at? Oh, CPU cooler tuning. And so on this, if it's set for boxed cooler, it's only gonna run at 65 watts. So I went ahead, let me zoom in so you can see that. On this CPU cooler tuning option, if you have it set for boxed cooler, it's only going to run at 65 watts max. So I went ahead and set it for tower air cooler, and that says it lets it run up to 135 watts, so that's a huge freaking difference. And seems to be no problem at all for the Hyper 212, so switching that over made a huge drastic increase in the CPU performance. So as long as you have a half decent cooler, I would definitely recommend enabling that. Okay, first up, I ran 3D Mark TimeSpy just to get a general idea of the performance, and it did pretty admirably, and we scored over 13,000. With a score that high, it's going to deliver a pretty capable gaming experience, especially at 1440p. Then I wanted to see how a real game would perform, so I just threw Grand Theft Auto 5 at it and ran the benchmark, and this delivered well over 100 frames per second at 1440p, so another good job here. And now let's take a look at Cyberpunk running on here. My wife loves RPGs, and she has expressed some interest in wanting to play Cyberpunk, but I messed around with it with ray tracing on the 7700K, and it was kind of laggy. There was some judder and stuff, and this is a much better experience. This is running on ray tracing medium preset at 1440p, and it looks great. When you're walking around the city, it's nice and smooth, and even when you're driving, it stays up above 60 frames per second. I have noticed on some machines that the driving seems to be more CPU intensive than other parts of the game, maybe because it's loading stuff in faster as you go by, but this held up really well. I tried moving the preset up to Ray Tracing Ultra, and it still played fine, but it was playing maybe between 45 and 60 frames per second, whereas on Ray Tracing Medium it was above 60 all the time. So if you wanted to just mess around with it, or you don't mind the 50-ish frames per second experience, then a 2080 Ti can probably do 1440p on Ray Tracing Ultra, but I think for the best experience, you're better off doing Ray Tracing Medium, and then maybe do Ultra if you have a 3080 or 3090 or something like that. It's a gorgeous looking game though, and even on Ray Tracing Medium level, it looks flat out gorgeous. You know, it's probably the most next gen looking game out right now. Alright y'all, thank you for watching along on this rebuild video. We got it back up and running better than ever before, and it's ready to trace some rays in Cyberpunk, so mission accomplished. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.